Hey there, it's Lenny McGill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in San Diego, California. And today we're going to talk about a +4 magazine extension for your Glock 42. Now, many of you know that we have had a +4 for the Glock 43 available for about a year now. And it's been super popular. And there it is on the bottom here. I'll see if I can get some light on it here and get you to see all the way around. There's a couple of neat things that this particular +4 does. Of course, it adds 4 rounds. That's pretty cool. So it takes you from 6 to 10. And it slips right on very easily. Like I said, this is the 9mm version for your Glock 43. And what it does is it gives you a much better grip. So you can see, if I'll hold it here lefty, you'll see on this side how my pinky finger falls off. I'm about half on this, I guess, third finger, whatever they call that, 1, 2, 3, yes. It's, really not a great situation. And the reason is this. A lot of people, think, well, it's okay. And it is okay for the first shot, if you can get a good grip on it. But what tends to happen when you don't have any meat on the gun, like so, as you shoot, the vibration really starts to affect your grip in a bad way. So your hand starts to roll off the top of the gun a little bit. It's hard to stay up on top of it, at least it is for me. And because of that, once your grip degrades, your accuracy degrades. So, hence, the first shot may be okay, but follow-up shots, if your grip is all over the place, the shots are going to be all over the place. So the better the grip, the better your accuracy. Now that even applies to competition shooting with full-size guns. I've always said that the best shooters are the guys with the strongest grip, because once they lock onto the gun and they hold there, they've got a stable platform and it remains consistent throughout the entire exercise. Hence, why we offer our GDB, Grip Development Ball. I know you think it's kind of crazy, right? But I will say this to you. If you squeeze this thing 1,000 times a day for 30 days, you're going to be a better shooter. There you go. So when you're driving around and you're sitting in traffic, squeeze that ball and you'll be a better shooter. But I divest and I'm back to the product at hand, which is the +4 now for your Glock 42. Because the 43 has been such a huge hit. Not only does it give you a better grip, I mean, it just, look at that. I mean, it's fantastic. See that little bumpy right there? Really just pushes your hand up on top of the gun, allows you to control this thing so much better, and it adds 4 extra rounds. Big hit. We've sold thousands, literally thousands. We offer it in 2 ways. We offer it assembled, like so, or you can buy the grip by itself and assemble it for yourself. In fact, that's what we're going to do right now for the 42. So let me put my 43 away, and we'll look at a 42. Now, the 42 is significantly smaller than the 43. And a lot of you think, well, really? And I'm going to tell you, yes, it is. It is smaller. It is about ½ inch smaller in the front. Okay. And even on the side here, let me go and take this +4 off here. It's a little bit shorter. Okay, so it definitely is a shorter, smaller gun than your 43. And a lot of people really like it because of that. It's lighter, it's smaller, and it's easier to conceal. So we sold a bunch of these. Now we also sell some magazine extensions that are +1, +2, and now there's a new +4 to mirror that 43 we just talked about. So the +1 is nice. It gives you a nice, better grip. Not a full hand, but enough to really give you that chance to control. And so it has a low profile. That's what I really like about our +1 and +2s, that they're very thin and just small. And they don't add a whole lot of bulk to the gun. But a lot of people want more. We all want more. We want 4 extra rounds. So now you can put 10 of the 380s into this little package. So instead of having that grip, I'll show you here, we're going to go ahead and put it in here with our +4. So let's go ahead and talk about how to assemble the +4 onto your G42 magazine. Pretty simple process. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort, but if you have the right tools, it makes it a lot easier. And the right tool we're going to talk about is our MDT. Okay, this is my personal MDT, one of the first ones we ever made. It's in silver. We typically send them out anodized in red. But same concept. It's got a small post and a little lever here. It's got a post that's going to fit right into the hole in the bottom of the magazine. Okay, this being the base plate. Okay, this is the magazine body. Inside, there's an insert plate. That's what holds that little guy right there. And there's also a spring and a follower. So that follower goes on the very top there. That's your nomenclature. So there's really 4 parts of this magazine: the base plate, the insert plate, the spring, the follower, and the body. So there's 5 parts. Okay, so MDT goes into the hole. Now this makes it a lot easier. The old-fashioned way is to take a punch, stick it in here, and force it off that way. And you can do that, but I'd have to stand up and really get my shoulders on top of it. So, and sometimes you'd bend your punch. So we came up with this little idea several years ago, and it's been a pretty nice little thing. So this is a brand new magazine. They're always a little tough from the beginning. So let me put a little muscle in here and see if I can get this thing off. There you go. So that's basically as hard as it gets. So I'll put my tool down. Now I've got it started, right? I want to be careful that inside, there's that insert plate. If you get in close, you can kind of see that piece of plastic right there. There you go. That insert plate is spring loaded. It wants to go flying across the room. In fact, the spring may go flying across the room, but certainly that insert plate is going to go flying. So as I take off the base plate, I want to be very careful to capture it with my thumb. So I'm just going to push it forward and capture that. Now, there's not a lot of spring pressure here, but there's enough, like I said, to pop you in the eye or someone across the room in the eye. So you want to capture that with your thumb like so, and then we want to release it slowly. And look at that. There's your insert plate we talked about. And there's a little post that intersects with the base plate. And this is part of the mechanism that keeps this on. So it just goes right in here like so. And you can see how it flips in there like that. And it's interesting, these base plates do tend to get lost, and so they do have numbers on them. And we do sell every one of these pieces and parts. So if you ever have trouble with any of your magazines, you know, we've got all the pieces and parts. We've got the base plates, we've got the insert plates, we've got base plates in aluminum, we've got +4s, +2s, all kinds of good combinations. There's your body of the magazine. The follower, like I said, is inside. Magazine spring is here. This comes out. You don't need to take it out for this demonstration, but you'll see how the follower kind of snaps onto the spring. So I'm going to go ahead now. Now, the neat thing about this +4 is that you can use, you use the factory spring, because it also uses, inside of the +4, its own spring. And you can see how it is spring loaded. So you see how that works? So basically what's going on is you've got a dual spring system now. You've got a spring for your standard 6 rounds, and you've got another spring in here for the extra 4 rounds. And this comes complete like so, okay? See how that spring will pop right out? All right, so we're gonna just put that back in. Now, the hardest part about this is to compress the spring and get it to sit on top of this. So we know that it is going to go forward this way because there's where my grip is going to go, all right? So it's going to sit in the gun like so. Boom. So now what I've got to do is take my spring, and I can go ahead and get these guys loose. It is the best way to do so. So we're going to go and take these screws out, and then we're going to go ahead and set this on top, get this pushed back, and then push it back together like a clamshell on top of it. So I will grab a small little Allen screw and Allen wrench here, and go ahead in here and open this up. Perfect. Okay. So we're just going to open these up a little bit just to get some motion to it. I don't have to take it all the way apart. Just want to crack the egg a little bit. And you'll get Allen wrenches with your part. So that will allow you to do this. Well, I may have to just take it all the way out, it looks like. There we go. Now, like I said, I don't really need to take it all the way apart. I just need to crack it open a little bit so I can get it in there and then let it spring back together. So let's get this out of the way. And this one's a little bit more difficult than the Glock 43 was, or the 4310, the 10 rounder for the 43. But here's what I'm going to do: is I'm going to crack this egg a little bit, okay? And I'm going to come in here and put a well, let's just see. Maybe I'll put an Allen screw in here. Here's a thicker one. Let's try this real quick. This will give me something to play with here while I can crack it open a little bit. And now it's going to hold itself open, and I'm going to stick the body of this into the channel that's going to accept it. Now, it's easier said than done. So let's go ahead and compress this spring, the magazine spring, get it to sit on top of this one here. And then I'm going to put this magazine into the channel. Looks like I've got it in there now. Pull that out and capture the magazine in place. Okay, looks like it's good so far. It's not coming out. So now, while I've got it held together, I'll give it a little tap with my mallet and come up here with these screws. Now, I think that's probably my my best technique or trick there, is to crack that open just a little bit with something so that it actually gives you a chance to get that magazine body in there. And I hope you're able to see that. And then I'm going to just screw it back together, because it was going to be a little stubborn otherwise. And you'll see I'm kind of going back and forth between these screws. And there we have it. Now, we have a magazine that's going to take 10 rounds instead of 6. But more significantly, it will give you a better grip. And that's what is all most important for follow-up accuracy. Now, of course, if you just want it to be a small little carry gun, this is perfect because it's so darn flat. Flatter here and shorter than your 43, and I'd say probably 20% lighter than the 43 just by feeling it. Of course, we do have the +1s, which are just a little bit smaller. But if you're looking for that extra capacity, if you're out shooting and you want to have a little bit more rounds in it, or you want that even better grip, I would go with the +4, just like I demonstrated here. So this is, of course, the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop here in San Diego. And we do have these in the stock if you want to come down and try them in our retail store. It's an item that I think is, going to be a big hit, because we know that the +4 on the 43 has been a huge hit. So those of you who got a 42, now you've got one for yourself as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Lenny McGill. We'll see you next time.